In this section we're going to be focusing on EFL exams. First of all, we'll take a look at what might be the advantages for students in following a course and taking an exam such as FCE or YELTS or whatever, an exam administered by a public examining board. After that, we're going to look at the range of courses which is actually available, the range of exams which are available and the courses for them. And then we're going to be looking at the set of specifications which underlie now most exams run by examining boards in Europe, which is the Common European Framework for Languages. Alongside the Common European Framework for Languages is another assessment tool which is called the European Language Portfolio, and we'll finish by taking a look at that. So, what are the advantages for students of having a formal qualification in English? Well, if you've downloaded the handout from the website which accompanies this video, you'll have seen that the primary objective is often a very practical one. They actually need it for work or study or whatever. If you want to immigrate to Australia or Canada and you're not a native speaker of English, then you'll be asked for the YELTS exam. The YELTS exam is also required by many universities as proof that a student can actually cope with a university course in English. And other universities require other qualifications like FCE or CAE or something like that. Even in their own country, students sometimes find that the university faculties in their own countries where they're studying require an English qualification. They have to reach PET or FCE level or something like that in order to go on to the next course or whatever it is, the next grade, where they're going to need to read in English or in some way operate in English for their studies. Sometimes employers will ask for a formal qualification and will specify that in order to apply for a job the candidate must have PET, FCE, CAE or whatever it is. So all of those reasons to go and live in an English-speaking country, to go and work for a company where English is important for the job, to study, whether in an English-speaking country or in your own country, for all those reasons a formal qualification may be important. However, there is another advantage, and I think that's exemplified by the quote from Trinity College, and that is that working towards a formal qualification can often add motivation to the student's study. Particularly in the case maybe of general purpose learners who don't have an external need for English. They may be studying simply for their own interest, or they may be learners who know that sometime in the future, younger learners maybe, who know that sometime in the future they are going to need an English qualification. However, knowing that the exam is there in June or December or whatever can sometimes make the difference between getting them to class on a rainy day or getting them to sit down and do their homework perhaps a little bit more thoroughly than they might otherwise have done without skipping anything. So it can be very motivating. Some students often also realise that in enrolling in a course that's working towards an exam, they're liable to be in a class with other people who are more serious, more motivated, and therefore it's going to be a class which possibly progresses a little bit more than just an ordinary general purpose or English for no particular purpose class. And I think it's interesting the fact that it's Cambridge who emphasise the practical value of the qualification and Trinity who emphasise the motivational value. Trinity, although they provide a range of courses, are perhaps best known for their spoken English exams, which are provided at 12 different levels, so the possibility of finding the right level for you is very easy with Trinity. And very much they tend to be used for younger learners. Well, a 7-year-old has no practical purpose for learning the language, and having the exam there can be something to work towards, and having the certificate in hand can be a motivation. Obviously that means that the whole procedure has got to be enjoyable. If the idea of the exam terrifies the learner, then it's going to have the adverse effect. So the Trinity exams are geared towards success. They're geared towards making sure that the learners do have that piece of paper when they walk out of the exam or afterwards. So, if a learner wants to obtain a formal qualification in English, which examining boards actually offer these qualifications, and what's the range of exams which are available? We've already talked about 2 examining boards, Cambridge ESOL and Trinity College London, and these are probably the best known. However, they're certainly not the only ones. There are various others. The Institute of Linguists, London Chamber of Commerce and Industry, City and Guilds, just to name a few. And the range of courses they offer is quite wide. Apart from the general purpose courses that we've already mentioned, things like PET, FCE from Cambridge, the Trinity College spoken language examinations, and their other general purpose examinations, there are also professionally oriented exams. So, for example, you've probably heard of the Cambridge Business English certificates, but Cambridge also offer, amongst various other things, the International Legal English certificate for lawyers and legal workers. Then the other examining boards all have different examinations for well, all of them have a range of examinations, whether general purpose or professional, but these are just 1 or 2 of the examples. So London Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for example, has a set of business exams, but also has a specific English for tourism examination for restaurant staff, hotel staff, and so on. City and Guilds runs an English for office skills examination for ordinary office staff, receptionists, personal assistants, administrative staff, and so on. Trinity College, going back to Trinity College, has an ESOL for work qualification, which is aimed at workers, not necessarily in white-collar jobs, factory workers, supermarket workers, and that sort of thing. So there are a wide range of different types of exams and a wide range of examining boards. That, of course, is just a list of the British examining boards. 2 of the most well-known exams for English are the American TOEFL and TOEIC. TOEFL is very often required for entry into a university in the States, whereas TOEIC is a test of workplace communication. However, it's the British examining boards that I really want to talk about, because I want to go on to talk about the Common European Framework, which is the set of specifications, the level specifications, which underlie the exams of all these boards. And that's what we'll look at in the next video.